today I'm going to teach you how to add a new product. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and log into your account, and we are going to click on products. We're going to go to product list. Now, just a quick note, if you're going to be adding a product that has more than 7% alcohol volume, you are going to want to have your cola handy because you will need that. So next we are going to click on this action button that says add product. We're going to click new product. We are going to do packaged alcohol today. It will give you the option of the type of alcohol. I'm going to choose wine. And the first thing you will see is a broad type of wine. Today I'm going to do a white wine. So we will start from the top and move our way down. If you have an image for your product, you can go ahead and add that now. If not, just use your logo and then you can put in your product image later. Then we are going to click our vintage and our product name. I'm going to go ahead and do a Pinot Grigio. Your description, if you have some tasting notes or blend information, you can go ahead and put that here. I'm just going to put something simple in for the purpose of this training. If you have more than one brand, you will have the option to choose your brand from the drop down. I only have one brand, so I'm going to keep that. Now, when we get down to identification, this is an important area. If you use a fulfillment center or you have an API partner, you want to be sure that your SKU is going to match exactly the same way you have it with your partner. Same with UPC. If you use a barcode, you want to be sure that this number matches exactly the way you have that. And TTB label ID. So again, if you're over 7% ABV, you need to make sure that your product is registered with the TTB, and you will put your cola number in here. Again, you want to be sure that that matches exactly. Now we're going to move down to label information, alcohol by volume, varietal. I am going to choose. So you'll see I have Pinot Gris / Grigio here. If you come over to varietal label, you can go ahead and put in the exact correct information. This will go ahead and override this varietal showing the slash. Country, you're going to choose where your product was produced. And appellation label, that is an optional field, but if you have an appellation that you would like to highlight, you can put that in there. You can also choose to toggle on hide appellation from view if you do not want that information to show to your customer at all. Next, we're going to go down to container. This is how your product is packaged. So I have a bottle, mine is 750 milliliter. Now for this process, I'm doing a single bottle, but let's say you are a cider company and it's a 6-pack of ciders, you would go ahead and choose that here. Again, I'm doing a single bottle. And then it went ahead and auto-populated material, weight, and box slot. You want to just check that and make sure that that is correct for what you have. Container is refillable. That is pretty uncommon, but let's say you have a growler and customers can bring it back to refill, you would toggle that on. Next, inventory is how many units you are going to sell within Vinoshipper. Almost sold out threshold. This is optional, but if you would like your customers to know when you're getting down to the last, I don't know, let's say 12 units, you can put that. And when your inventory gets down to that, a flag will show up on your website saying you're almost sold out, and let your customers know they should hurry up and buy that soon. Your price, you're going to set that. Your MSRP, if your MSRP is higher than your price that you are listing it for, your MSRP will show slashed out and then your price will show. That's a good marketing tool if you'd like to use that. Exclude from discount. If you want to keep this product from being able to have any discounts applied to it, you'll go ahead and toggle that on. Settings, most of this area is pretty self-explanatory, but there is one thing I'd like to show you in specifications. If you would like a minimum order quantity, so let's say you want them to have to buy 3 bottles of this, but no more than 12, you could enter that there. Of course, if you don't mind how much they buy, you can just leave that off. Additional information, these are all optional fields, but I think if you have this information, it's great to give it to your customers. The more they know, the better. And then awards and rating, again, optional fields, but if you have something you'd like to highlight, you can enter that here. And then before you go ahead and click save, I just recommend that you head back up. You double check your work, especially this identification area. Just make sure those numbers all match. Then you're going to head down and click save. And from that point, you will know that your product is in the queue to be approved by us. Approval typically takes up to 1 business day. Please note that if your product was just recently approved with the TTB, you're going to want to go ahead and send a copy of the approval to us, and that way we can get your product activated quicker. I hope this was a helpful video, and happy adding products.